Annihilation Simulacrum is the latest in-game challenge released in Zenless Zone Zero. Not sure if I'd consider it actual in-game though, because it doesn't require you to build anything on your own. However, it is currently the most fair, challenging content in the game. It has some incredible potential that I would love to see flourish out. And after a full day, well, I mean, at this point of recording, it's been like 5 days, but after about 5 days or so of me enjoying and grinding out each fight, I have some firm opinions that I'd like to share with you guys. Now, I did already do this on Twitter, so if you want to see some of the things earlier or like in these article formats that I make, because I just kind of like writing articles now, that's over on Twitter or in my Discord, one of the two. You guys are free to join that. But as of right now, I'm gonna give it to you in video format too. So I'm gonna start with the good and then we'll end with the not so good. Kicking things off, you guys might be asking yourselves, why does EO think Simulacrum is so good? Everyone else hates it. All the other content creators and my peers and anyone else thinks this mode is bad, but why? Why does EO have to be the contrarian? Well, I'm not trying to be a contrarian. I just have my own opinions. This is the most balanced game mode we have had in Zenless that officially challenges everyone who plays it. What I anticipated to only keep my attention for about 20 minutes tops somehow held me at the desk for over 6 hours. I went to sleep thinking about strategies to get faster times with characters I don't normally play and how different combos could lead into different stun openers. I woke up thinking about how to get resources here or there, why I'm running out of meter in the middle of a stun, so on and so forth. What I think some of my peers haven't acknowledged is two things. One, they are close to or actually are top 1% players. Their skill is leagues above the majority of the player base, so what seems easy to them isn't actually easy at all. They have clouded opinions on the game regarding what they can do versus what the average player can't do. And I say that as someone who's also been in that situation, not to call myself a top 1% player. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that I've been in a situation as a content creator and someone who's has an audience of players that are slightly less skilled than him at playing the video games or Zenless or whatever. I've been in that situation where I've had my head in the clouds and what I thought the average player could do, they actually can't do. And over the course of pretty much all of this year, I've really got to hone in on that. I've been so deep on the ground, that sounds kind of weird, right? I've been on the ground with a lot of you guys. Some of y'all know that from in the community, you guys coming in the Discord, y'all been in some of the past streams, and I'll help you out. I'll watch you go from the very beginning of the game or whatever the case may be. I'll help you with the account. I'm clearly looking at what these players can and can't do, what they're trying to do, and what's hard or frustrating for them to do. So I say that now as someone who, you know, fully understands that. And it's not really a knock to say that or a knock to anyone else, really. It's just a matter of like seeing things in a more objective manner. The second thing that I don't think they acknowledge is that just because I can copy the top team doesn't mean that I can pilot it to get the same results or same score. No amount of RNG or copying will get those results. You need the skill to match it. It's the same thing that, you know, we say in any game, really. I always mention fighting games, but you could quite literally pick up anything. Fortnite, Apex, League of Legends, building a PC, skateboarding, whatever. I could give you my favorite skateboard. I could give you my smoothest longboard, right? I could give you my best fight stick. I could give you my favorite controller that has 40. I don't have a controller with 49 buttons. I'm just making that up. But my point being, I can give you my camera. I can give you my super expensive $3,000 camera, right? If you don't know how to use it, you will never get the quality of videos or pictures that I get when I go out and vlog things or do wedding shoots or anything like that, right? Because you don't know how to use it. It's the same concept. If I give you the best team in the world or the best team in the game and you still don't know how to use it, it doesn't matter. That's why if you go on the leaderboard right now and you see people copying whatever the top team is, you'll see someone who's at the very top with closer to 60-second clears and then someone at the very bottom with 2 to 3 minute clears. Even though it's the same team, they don't know how to use it. For the first time in a long time, I was able to go into this brand new game mode, mostly blind, and get a full experience of what was honestly fun to me. It was a great challenge. I got a 1 minute and 40-second clear with Caesar of all agents against Primordial Nightmare just because I didn't want to learn how to use Norma at the time. The game mode gives you everything you need to play it and allows you to completely explore any option you see fit. You literally only have one goal: win. Now, honestly, there's some caveat to that, but it can honestly be devolved to that simple mission. It is literally your own skill and slight boss pattern RPG, wow, RNG that dictates how good you are in Annihilation Simulacrum. You have the ability to create your own strategies, come up with your own rotations, try your own team comps, so on and so forth. As I mentioned earlier with Caesar, fun fact, because I know a lot of you guys don't know that because a lot of people don't play Caesar, but I love me some Caesar. Caesar bodies every single one of these bosses. Caesar annihilates Minato, that matchup is free for her. And she also handles Primordial Nightmare fairly consistently. Now, there are some issues, which we will talk about later, specifically about Nightmare. But in terms of Minato, if you're having a hard time fighting Minato or even Billy because you can't figure out when to parry, or he's a little too aggressive for you, or whatever the case may be, you don't know how to play Yidhari, whatever, pick up Caesar. Literally EX parry or regular parry. You can parry anything in the game for free and she'll counter it. It counts as the stun and the daze and whatever else. And it also counts as doing the counter plus the EX skill. It's great. Now, when I played Caesar, and this is just my personal thing of me trying to do it, Caesar is not giving me the low score times that I want personally. I want closer to 60-second clears, 75-second clears, things like that. And I've been trying to figure out how to do that with Caesar, but the enemy has to be super aggro for me to get away with that when it comes to Caesar, and you still need some of the damage to back it up. Regardless, before I address the obvious elephant in the room, I need to bring up Monster Hunter. In Monster Hunter, Challenge Quest or Arena Quest can be seen as one of the ultimate tests of pure skill. The G-rank gear you get when you grind out in the game, the custom built sets that you make, cannot save you in an arena quest. Whatever the game gives you is what you have to use, and the monsters they pit you against are meant to be the more aggressive variants. Now, I say meant to be because it's literally whatever they decide to put in there. Sometimes the quest has 4 giant raptor chickens, and other quests will have you fighting a Dread King Rathalos in a permanent buffed up state. Regardless, the mode evens out the playing field for all players. You have a choice between 5 options of preset gear, fixed item loadouts, and random gear. None of them are the same, and in Monster Hunter, no one weapon plays alike. Even gear can drastically change how you approach a fight, i.e. using traps, shock traps or pitfall traps and flash bombs to make something significantly easier versus not doing that. And just like Annihilation Simulacrum, the game has ranked times and a leaderboard system too. So funnily enough, challenge quests are the perfect comparison, and it actually might be a one-to-one implementation. Similarly to gacha players, the casual audience in Monster Hunter doesn't like this type of content, challenge quests, because, you know, while we as the dedicated fan base love it, they don't like that because I guess what they grinded for. I grinded for my perfect build that one-shots dragons, and now I can't do that in this arena quest, but I really want the thing from the arena quest. Whatever. It's a feeling of like, I didn't win because I pulled the latest unit or I have the best weapon or gear. I won because I'm genuinely good at the game. What makes these modes so fun, so good, is that it's a game mode that challenges players to clear for the highest rating. The community takes it a step further and pushes for speed runs for brownie points, but that's just something we love to do. Now, all of that comes down to 3 factors. Number 1, equalized competition, which is what we were talking about earlier. Because Capcom forces everyone to use the exact same 5 preset loadouts, the global leaderboards are a true test of strategy and execution. A player with 500 hours of gameplay and a player with 20 hours of gameplay have access to the exact same character stats. This creates a highly competitive, fun environment for those that want to play it, meaning the rewards are purely prestige-based, as we see in Annihilation Simulacrum. Number 2, a sandbox to try out brand new weapons or older weapons, whatever, right? Just things that you're not really comfortable with. Building a functional in-game armor set for a weapon you've never used takes hours of farming materials, just like in Zenless. Challenge quests let players experiment with totally foreign weapon types without making any investment. You want to try out the heavy bowgun or the greatsword for the first time, and you're a longsword user. The arena provides a built-in stress-free testing ground. Would we call that stress-free though? Because like fighting a Rathalos is kind of or like a golden Rajang, bro. Fighting a permanent golden Super Saiyan Rajang, man. I don't want to do that. Anyway, number 3, forced creativity with quote unquote bad gear. The preset armors in Monster Hunter are notorious for having mismatched skills or weird item loadouts. All this sounds annoying, and it was annoying to me whenever I first saw it in Zenless during the leaks that were going around. Veterans typically find it refreshing. And just to speak on that for a bit, as I mentioned, I felt some type of way whenever I first saw this mode getting leaked around, and it had horrible disk drive sets. None of the weapons or none of the characters had any of their signature W engines, and it felt a little too homogenous across the board. Now, as we have it now, they do have signature W engines and their gear is still kind of homogenous, like with disk drives and whatnot. But I mean, hey, it's there, I guess. They're not bad. And I feel like I would rather something that's decent versus just like everyone has 222 and you get no benefit from that, right? But if they made 222s, that would have been so much cooler. Anyway, the whole point is that it forces you to rethink your entire combat strategy. Learn how to utilize items you usually ignore, again, like specific traps or slinger ammo in Monster Hunter, and in Zenless's case, literally characters. A lot of people are playing double stun now, whereas before they didn't want to play double stun. Double stun bad. I want to play hyper carry to support. Now you can't do that, right? And it allows you to deeply understand a monster's behavior to push a high score. And again, comparing this to Zenless, it allows you to push a boss's behavior or push your team's capability in order to get a higher score. So ultimately, take all of that and apply it to Zenless. Annihilation Simulacrum, Hoyoverse gives you the same taste of preset gear. They give you a handful of characters to build a team from, and it matches you up against whatever newly designed boss is going to be in the rotation. Not every team plays the same or can even achieve the same results, just like in Monster Hunter, and that's the entire point. Despite the leaderboard being a clear who's at the top sign, it doesn't mean everyone has to play the exact same way. The devs don't give a if you're top 1 or bottom 20. Only you care about being top 1 or bottom 20. Everyone's talking about the double stun comp with Norma and Dylan is the best thing to run. It's the only way that you're gonna get fast clears. But I literally have a friend who played Evelyn, Norma, and Yuzuha and got faster clears than some of the people telling you that you get the best clears with double stun. Come on, man. Like, you guys could literally do whatever it is that you want to do with enough practice or dedication or anything like that. It's meant for fun. And so, as I mentioned before, at first, I thought it was kind of stupid, right? Like, I thought that it was really dumb that one team has access to certain strategies, but another team doesn't. And just for comparison or example's sake, again, double stun. I thought it was crazy that Evelyn benefits purely from Norma, right? Like, then I realized how stupid that sounds in a game where characters are sold based on doing things better or completely differently than others. Whatever strategies Evelyn has are clearly not the same strategies that Yanagi or Jane has access to. The entire point is for players to test and figure out which strategies work the best for that team. So if the fastest Jane clear versus Primordial Nightmare is 2 minutes and 1 second, then your goal should be to beat Nightmare in less than 2 minutes. Then again, until you get the lowest time possible for whatever that team may be. The mode is supposed to be a fun challenge. Stop taking away your own fun because somebody else doesn't enjoy the mode. Get over it. But with all that being said, it does lead me into the issues or limitations that exist in Simulacrum. So honestly, most of the problem only exists for the top 0. whatever X% players, okay? This doesn't mean everyone else can't experience the same issues, but objectively speaking, this is by far the best challenge content in the game for 95% of Zenless Zone Zero players. It's almost the perfect method of teaching you how to route your own fights with whatever team you choose against the limiting boss mechanics the game throws your way. As I mentioned earlier, copying teams and strategies is only a concern for those players, and they have their own justified reasons for that. Boredom, lack of creativity, too good at the game, whatever. Doesn't really matter what the specifics are. The main problem for everyone else is there are some mechanics that are clearly designed to work against a good chunk of the available roster given to you. Once again, take Primordial Nightmare. Your goal is to prevent her from performing state switches, miasma, by using the flying sword item the game gives you. It's on a 30-second cooldown, and she tries to enter the state every 10 seconds or some nonsense like that. You want the faster clear times, you have to prevent her from state switching altogether. The current and most consistent method to do that is by running double stunner. The only stun agents in the roster are Norma and Dylan, and every agent doesn't work with the double stun comp anyway. Oh, and fun fact, if she enters miasma, she resets her day's value entirely, which means all of your previous work to stun her was all for nothing. So naturally, what is everyone doing? Well, we should just run Evelyn, Norma, and Dylan because that is the best thing to do and the only way to play there. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, man. It also doesn't help that Norma directly benefits Evelyn more than anyone else of the 12 agents since she gives free chain attacks, and Evelyn's whole gimmick is chain attacks outside of stun. So let me ask you, if the flying sword is on a 30-second cooldown, she goes into state every 10 seconds or so, and only 2 out of 12 agents can stun her at a moderate pace, where is the strategy in that? The short answer is there is none, and that's not specifically the game mode's fault. That's the developer's fault for not realizing the problem with this boss's gimmick. Minato doesn't have this issue, and neither does Billy. But you want to know something even more funny? Double stun isn't actually the only way to deny Nightmare her state switch. The game also gives you stagger/interrupt options stuns as a second route to the same goal, and that opens the door to a handful of agents outside of the stun pool. The catch is that this route is just as narrow in its own way. Only about 3 to 4 agents in the trial roster can pull it off effectively against this specific boss, Jane, Valina, and Yuzuha being the standout anomaly team. So there is more strategy here than you need Norma and Eileen, but it's still a shorter list either way. To further explain what I'm talking about here, you guys have already seen things with Valina and probably Valina guides. You understand that in order for Valina or the anomaly team with Valina to get those 3 stuns, you need to find a way to utilize her tornadoes and other abilities to essentially lock down the enemy, the boss, so that it can't move, and then you build up stun that way. Valina is also an amazing character that happens to have a pseudo stun like ability or pseudo stun like daze values to help out with anomaly teams getting to that stun. Wonderful stuff. Now, if you combine that with Jane and Yuzuha being on the team, but primarily Jane, you get flinch. So if you don't know about anomaly states, which is kind of why I'm disappointed in Zenless sometimes, but whatever. Anyway, anomaly states have secondary effects. Flinch has a couple different effects that you could really utilize or benefit from, but the one that we're going to talk about right now is flinch has a stagger state. The stagger being that it immediately stops anyone from doing anything. If the boss was in the middle of doing whatever it is, you flinch it, which is trigger assault, and then you'll get flinch, then it stops. If the boss was going to attack you and you flinched it, then it physically flinches. Think of it like Pokemon, right? The opponent flinched, it can't move, it cannot move. It's like a split second or 2 seconds of not being able to move. When you combine being able to flinch the enemy and Valina's wind tornadoes, right, then you get the stagger states and you interrupt the boss, and then you can stop it from going into it just long enough that your 30-second cooldown comes back. You get the swords again, and then you keep it outside of miasma state. And so that's a whole different strategy to get exactly what you want. There are other characters in the game that utilize this very well. You guys know I am one of the Seth boys, okay? Seth is crazy good at being able to do that. Yuzuha has the best defensive tool in the game, being Umbrella. The problem with Umbrella in this particular fight is that if you don't stop her from going into the teleporting, it won't happen. You can't parry a teleport because it's an evasive move, right? So just like in Monster Hunter, as I said before, every weapon cannot achieve the fastest score in challenge or arena quests because these quests lock you into preset loadouts and gear. Clear times heavily depend on a weapon's specific setup, how well its fixed gear matches the monster, i.e. matchups, and its underlying weapon class balancing, i.e. anomaly being stronger than attack, or rupture being better than attack, or double attack being better than anomaly in this case, right? Whatever the case may be. That is why weapons like the switch axe and the bow guns usually clock the fastest times in Monster Hunter speed runs. Now, what doesn't help is that the mode is on a 42-day reset. That's a long time to wait between chances to test out new strategies, new units, or just revisit a fight with a fresh perspective. Something like a 30-day reset, I think, would be a lot easier or better to manage because it would give you a faster rotation. And that goes a long way toward keeping the mode feeling alive instead of making players ignore it because they've copied the fastest strategy. So where does all this leave you? Annihilation Simulacrum is, flaws and all, the strongest piece of challenge content Zenless has shipped since the original Deadly Assault. It's accessible enough for new players to learn routing and team building, and it's deep enough to hold veterans for hours chasing seconds off of a clear. The boss-specific bottlenecks, like the Nightmare Miasma Loop thing I mentioned, are definitely worth looking into, cough cough, Zenless developers, but that is a mechanic tuning problem. That is not proof that the mode itself is bad. If Hoyoverse wants this mode to become the genuine in-game pillar it has the potential to be, the best thing the community can do is to give specific feedback right now while it's still early and being, developed, rather than write the mode off and ask them to create yet another version of Deadly Assault, where bosses just happen to be punching bags with preset I'm so tired of it. Please stop asking for this bullshit. I went the whole video pretty chill, bro. That one little thing bothers me so much. Every time we talk about endgame and what's good or bad, everyone in their mama always seems to default to Deadly Assault. Like the day old Deadly, oh man, if only this thing was just like Deadly Assault. Stop. We don't need 20 Deadly Assaults. There's so many things that people complain and compare about, and then just for you to if you write out all the things they're complaining and saying what should change, and then you look at it, bro, that's just another version of Deadly Assault. I don't want to play 6 Deadly Assaults. Stop. Annihilation Simulacrum is legitimately an amazing in-game, again, air quotes, foundation and I think it deserves the most support right now. Now, this might be my the Monster Hunter fanboy in me. I don't know. I really don't care. There is so much that they could do with this mode, and I really want them to continue improving it. I did not think I would like this mode as much as I do, and obviously I could get bored of it, sure, but I mean, I get bored of gacha games in like a week, so that doesn't really matter. The point being is that if you were to ask me to grind out a kill in 3 different deadly assaults versus shooting for a faster clear time in Annihilation Simulacrum, I'm picking Annihilation Simulacrum, and that says a lot. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I can't say my user outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later.